one little fun fact. I took my first bucket shower in India. I feel like I'm glowing in this white shirt. I don't know if I like it. Like, it wasn't terrible, but like, would I want to do it again? Probably not. Hello, my name is Melody, and I am coming at you live from already now. All right guys, so in this video we are going to be talking all about my trip to India, and I feel like it's time that I am honest with you about this trip that I took, and you know, just come clean about some things. So you know, how do I say this? India was the bomb.com. It was everything. It was all the things. It is my favorite trip that I've ever taken. It was just incredible. And a huge reason why the trip was so awesome is because Erica planned it. It was actually her idea to go to India, and she planned the entirety of the trip, and she did an incredible job, so much so that, like I said, it's my favorite vacation to date. So just a huge shout out and thank you to Erica. I'll put a little picture of her here. Yeah, she did that. She did that. And she actually has a blog where she talks a lot about the planning process of like booking the trains, booking hotel rooms, even like SIM card stuff. So I'm going to drop her link to her website and that blog post that she wrote about the trip in the description box. So now that you guys know the truth about the India trip, let's get into how you can plan an awesome, incredible trip to India too. So first things first, when should you go to India? We went in March, and I honestly think it was perfect. The weather wasn't too hot. In the evenings it was cool, in the mornings it was also cool. During the day it wasn't scorching hot. It definitely did get hot, but it wasn't like overwhelming, like, oh my gosh, I gotta get out of the sun kind of heat. I read online that their high season is from November to March, and I can see why, because like I said, the weather in March was really good. So I definitely suggest going in between that time so the weather is not too hot. So the next thing to consider when you are planning your amazing, awesome trip to India is how much money should you bring? Now, let me go ahead and break down the cost of our trip. We were there for 9 days, 8 nights, and we went between 4 cities. I took out originally 450 US dollars, exchanged that to Indian rupees, kind of was running low on cash by day 5, ended up taking out more money, and I think total I ended up spending around $600 for my 8 days in India. And this includes hotels, shopping, food, transportation, and tours. So like everything basically. And the things that I did not properly take into account were, number 1, food. For some reason, I had this idea that food was going to be super cheap, like $2 to $3 per meal, and it's not. Ended up spending way more money on food than I anticipated, so I feel like that's where a lot of my budget went. And then the other thing is shopping. I did not think that I was going to love or want to purchase so many things that I saw when we went shopping. So if you like food and if you like shopping, I would say kind of err on the side of caution and bring more money. Next thing, safety. I got a lot of questions asking about our safety, you know, us being 3 women traveling throughout India together, and honestly, we ran into no problems. Here are a few tips though. Don't ever take food or drink from anyone. I think that's kind of like a given. Just definitely be more aware of your surroundings and like your stuff, where it is. Keep your wallet on you, keep your backpack zipped up, kind of keep inventory of everything. And also, if you are a woman traveling by yourself, you can wear a wedding band, and this kind of keeps men at bay, or like, you know, unwanted attention away from you, because they'll see the wedding band and be like, oh, she's married, can't talk to her. All right guys, so the next thing we're gonna talk about is food. Now, when I was in India, I fell in love with the food. Before I went, I really didn't know much about Indian food besides curry and naan. And one dish that I really fell in love with is dal, and I just highly suggest that you check it out when you are there. They have all these different colors of dal, like yellow dal, black dal, red dal, and it's all just so good, and it's also really inexpensive too. But anyways, let's talk about food safety. So I did not really run into any problems with the food. I'd say biggest tip number one, just never ever drink water that's not bottled. That will always end badly if you drink unbottled water or like just tap water. Number two, be careful of like street food. Honestly, the only time I ate street food and the only time I would have felt comfortable eating street food was when we were on the food tour. The third thing is I did catch a little bug of some sort, and I don't know exactly how it happened because the day that I got it, my friends and I, we all ate the same things. So I don't know if it was the food or if it's just my actual stomach being sensitive. And it wasn't like I was throwing up violently or like constantly diarrhea-ing. I don't know if that's a word, but things were just running through me more quickly than normal. So yeah, that's that. I would say just be careful. Don't be afraid to try stuff, but just be aware of where you're trying these dishes. That will be your key to success. So next thing we're gonna talk about is tour guides. Now, it kind of looked like on our trip that we had a lot of tour guides, but we really only had 3, one of them being our friend. So in the New Delhi vlog, I will link it up above, I introduced you guys to Pawan, and I said he was our tour guide. But he technically, I mean, he was our tour guide, but he really was just our friend. And I realized in retrospect, like, you guys don't know the inside joke. But yeah, Pawan so kindly decided to kind of take us under his wing and show us around New Delhi. And he was so patient, so kind, like literally patience of an angel. So in New Delhi, Pawan was taking us around so graciously and so kindly. When we were in Agra, we booked 2 tours, one being the Sunrise Taj Mahal tour, which you guys saw the vlog from that. But to be completely honest, I would not suggest going with the company or the person that we went with. You guys saw in the vlog, he was over us, like over us. And to me, I feel like the amount of money that we paid him, we paid 4,500 Indian rupees. That is more than hotels cost. 4,500 rupees, you're gonna like us all day. Okay, we are paying you to like us all day. And he was just so over us. So I just felt like, yeah, he was not a really good tour guide. But like you guys saw in the food vlog when we were in Agra, we went on the food walking tour. That tour guide was absolutely incredible. So yeah, those are the 3 tours that we went on. One technically wasn't a tour, and then another one that we went on was the Elephantastic like experience, and that we booked online, and Erica actually found that. So again, shout outs to Erica. But I think one of the best places to find tours when you are going to India is going to be TripAdvisor, because that's where they have a bunch of reviews of the different tours, the different tour companies, and that is where we honestly found all the tours that we went on. Besides Elephantastic, I think that she just went directly to their website. Next thing on this list of how to have an incredible trip in India, things you need to know about transportation inside the country. So let me give you the abridged version of our itinerary. We flew from Seoul into New Delhi. From New Delhi, we caught a 4-hour train ride to Agra. From Agra, we caught a 7-hour train ride to Jaipur. From Jaipur, we took a Volvo coach bus back to New Delhi. From New Delhi, we flew on a plane to Goa. So the first train that we took was just a normal sit in a seat kind of train. I'm going to again link Erica's blog post below because she talks about the websites that she used to book these trains and how to do it and gives you tips and all that good stuff. And I honestly don't even know because again, I didn't book these things. But yes, we rode on this train. It was packed because we were leaving from New Delhi, and New Delhi is the first stop of the train. It was on time. And I say that's one thing to keep in mind is wherever your train is leaving from, if it's not New Delhi, it will probably be late. So when we were leaving from Agra, waiting for our train to go to Jaipur, we took a sleeper train. It ended up being 3 hours late. Our cabin had one bed on one side and then kind of like a bunk bed situation on the other side. Now, there's just, how do I say this? It's not the most cleanly experience. It's not like it's disgustingly dirty, but it's also not like it's pristine condition. And I think for me, coming from Korea, where everything is super clean and like the KTX train is immaculate at all times, this is definitely no KTX. And they also have bathrooms on the train. They're not incredibly clean, but it's not super terrible and disgusting to the point where you don't want to go to the bathroom either. So, you know, that's one thing as well. Now, when we left Jaipur, we went back to New Delhi, we took a 4 to 5 hour Volvo chartered bus ride. And I would definitely suggest and tell you guys only to ride on the Volvo buses, because they are, 1, the most reputable, 2, they have air conditioning, and 3, they're not going to take you to other places. They're just going to get you right to your destination. There are some buses that kind of, they know they have tourists on board, so they take them to shopping areas and kind of make a trip out of getting them to their destination instead of just getting them actually directly to their destination. So yes, definitely stick to the Volvo chartered buses. And it was great, no complaints whatsoever. It was air conditioned. They even had outlets, so I was really happy about that one. All right guys, last thing on the list. One thing that I definitely want to tell you is hot showers. When I was in India, I took my first bucket shower, and it was not because I was dying to know what a bucket shower was like. It was because apparently at some hotels in India, I didn't know that you have to tell them when you want to take a shower so they can have the hot water ready for you. And so I go to take a shower, but it's not getting hot. So I call down, he's like, oh, sorry, like you have to tell me I can bring you a hot bucket of water if you want. And I'm like, no, like I want to take a normal shower. But I ended up getting that hot bucket of water, and it was fine. Like it wasn't terrible, but it's definitely not the relaxing bath experience that I was looking forward to. So that's just one thing to keep in mind, that at your hotel you might have issues with hot water. You might have to tell the actual front desk before you want to take a shower so they can have that hot water ready for you. All right guys, so that is all the information that I have for you. That is the truth about our trip to India. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or you feel like I didn't touch on a topic that you wish I would have, drop me a comment. I'll be sure to get back to you, and I will have all the links of things that I talked about in this video in the description box as well. I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys. Peace.